Welcome to Analytics with Nags. This is another video in the end-to-end series where we are going to discuss about Power BI paginated reports. What is Power BI paginated reports? Once you use it, what are the advantages you are going to get? Those things we are going to discuss as part of this video. Let's begin. The topics I'm going to cover are introduction to paginated reports and how to install, creating your reports. What is the difference when you need to go for Power BI and when you need to go for Paginated? The actual difference, we will try to open both the reports and try to understand it. And creating a reports, that is paginated reports using wizard. So whatever I meant here, denoted reports means paginated reports. So creating charts, row group and column group, what is the expression and parameters, very important concept as part of paginated reports, and followed by cascading parameters. Once you are familiar with the URL, I will walk you again through report items, what are the different report items present in the paginated reports, and how you can set certain properties of each and every item or charts. Then there goes deployment. Once you have developed your reports, then you need to deploy it for sharing and collaboration. Then there comes the sub reports, because this is comes next, because you should have at least your reports deployed so that you can do the sub reports. That's what this topic comes first. Then you have paginated reports in Power BI. Basically, you have a Power BI report. In that, you can have your paginated reports as well. So how you can use that, that is also part of this video. Then final topic is sharing, collaboration, how you can export and whether you can embed your paginated reports. Those concepts we will try to cover as part of this video. So this is the topic, and I hope you enjoy this content. If you are new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for notification. For the data source, like whatever data source to generate these reports, I used Microsoft SQL Server, the server, and inside that we have AdventureWorks database. You don't know how to use it? I have two separate videos for it. How to install SQL Server, that is the first video you should go for. If you do not have a SQL Server, then you can use next video, that is how to restore AdventureWorks. The order is different, so this should be first if you want to install database engine, and then this is to restore AdventureWorks. Once you have this setup ready, you can practice along with this video. This channel contains a free content worth $1,000 or 75,000 INR. So please spread this channel with your friends and colleagues. That covers all the areas in Microsoft ecosystem: SSRS, SSAS, SSRS, and basically it teaches SQL as well. This channel focuses predominantly on Power BI, and adding this Power BI paginated reports fulfills this channel in Power BI ecosystem. There are a lot more to come. Let's begin our today's topic, Power BI paginated reports introduction. Those who are following my channel, they are aware of Power BI reports, where you can be able to create interactive reports. So what is this paginated reports and how it differs from Power BI? That is what we are going to see as part of this introduction video, and a lot more to come as part of this playlist. And those who are looking for SSRS, SQL Server Reporting Service, the Power BI paginated reports development phase as well as the SSRS development both remains same, because both uses the underlying report definition language for storing the developed objects. So you can continue watching this playlist instead of learning SSRS. Both are same in terms of development. With this note, let us begin and understand what is Power BI paginated reports. Paginated reports are designed to be printed or shared. So if your Power BI reports are meant for printing and sharing, you need to go for Power BI paginated reports, because a lot of time when you have a Power BI reports that you have seen so far, like when you adjust it, right? It will fit into page, or it will fit into width, and it will fit into other options, right, available. But when you do a print, that will not have a proper content, or you will not have the intended results. So something will span to another page, half of the reports will be printed. But here you have more control for printed reports. That is why you go for paginated reports. They are called paginated because they are formatted fit well on a page. They are also called pixel perfect because you can control that pixel settings as well. That is why it is called as paginated reports or pixel perfect reports. You can able to create this paginated reports using a Power BI report builder. So similarly, how you used to create Power BI reports in Power BI desktop, a report creator or report authoring tool is Power BI report builder. So you can able to create paginated reports using Power BI report builder. So these are the just introduction about paginated reports when you will go for it. In order to understand further when actually you need to go, you understand like there is different terms like Power BI reports and Power BI paginated reports. When I should go for it, let us try to understand this example, Power BI paginated reports, where this is called as parameters. Okay, you can choose between any of the buying group location, similar to filters in the Power BI reports. But there are a lot of difference how filters works in Power BI paginated reports and the Power BI reports that we will discuss later part of the videos. But here you see here like a table is displayed which contains 5 rows. Assume this report is developed in a Power BI report and there are 200 rows. Here only displayed 5 rows, that's fine. Assuming there are 200 rows, what happens in case of Power BI reports? You have a scroll bar. So when you print this report, whatever you see in this page will be printed only these 5 rows, because there will be a scroll bar. The scroll bar appears as an image. So when you do a print in Power BI report, whatever you see here, which will be printed as an image, that is what a snapshot of your report. In case of paginated reports, as we said, there are 200 rows. The scroll bar appears, or it will be moved to different pages as well. How many rows this table contains? Say for example 2 to 3 row pages. So those 2 to 3 pages will be printed. That is what a Power BI paginated reports is. This is the give you overall idea when you need to go for Power BI paginated reports. So what are the prerequisites of this Power BI paginated reports? As we said, you need a Power BI report builder to build the reports, which is available as a free and downloaded from the Microsoft website. In order to deploy it, you need to either have a pro or premium per user license. Important thing is this Power BI paginated reports can be deployed only to the Power BI premium capacity workspaces. That is the another prerequisite. So if you are not a premium capacity user, you cannot use your paginated reports for sharing and collaboration, but still you can use it as a standalone report, meaning you can use it for your own purpose within your system itself. That is possible. And once it is premium capacity, your admins should enable the premium capacity sections. In case of premium Gen 2, by default it is enabled. So these are the prerequisite. We are not going to focus much on this right now, at least for 10 to 15 videos, because this comes under deployment part. We will focus on downloading Power BI report builder and start working on creating the reports for initial videos. So in order to understand the architecture, how it works, this is the typical Power BI architecture. You have a desktop. Once you can able to create a report and deploy it in services and share with the browser or mobile apps. In case of Power BI paginated reports, you have a separate tool. As we discussed, we need to download and separate tool. So the creation of Power BI desktop is separate and Power BI report builder reports is separate, and you can publish these reports over here. This is the flow between Power BI report builder and Power BI desktop reports. In this session, we're going to see about installation of paginated reports, that is Power BI Report Builder. We have seen the architecture of Power BI paginated reports, where the original authoring or creation of Power BI paginated reports occur at the Power BI Report Builder. So this tool, we are going to install it now. Once we install, we will launch and check it out whether it works fine or not. Let's begin our today's topic. This channel contains a free content with 75,000 INR or 1,000 US dollars. Please utilize this free content which is available to you, and you can share this channel with your friends and colleagues. Let's move on to Google and get Power BI Report Server download. So it will navigate you to the official Microsoft website. You can go and check and download it. You can check the prerequisites, right? I mean to say, like you have something called 32-bit version or 64-bit version available. You can check based on the instructions over here. 80 MB, 512 MB RAM, what are the prerequisite you should have, all of the things are, you can check it. Once you satisfy this, then you can click on download. I am aware my system is little updated, so I didn't check anything. It will work fine. And click on it, double click on it to run the installer. So it will keep asking you next. You can give it is simple installation like any other software. Let's wait for a while. It will take some time. So once we install, we will try to launch it. As you can see, it is already appearing in the recently added, but I just want to show you Power something. Like when you type Power BI, you can see from here Power BI desktop, it is separate tool, and you can see a different symbol, Power BI Report Builder, which is meant for creating the paginated reports. That is the main focus of this video as well. So let's try to click on Power BI Report Builder. It's trying to launch. You can see the entire GUI is different from Power BI desktop. You can able to create tables, chart wizard, map wizard, blank. From the wizard you can able to create it. Let's try to skip this one. I'm not going to focus on how to create this report as part of this video. For you to understand how you can install the Power BI Report Builder, I made this video. I hope we will try to explore more about this Power BI Report Builder in our next videos. In this session, we are going to create our first paginated reports. In our previous session, we have seen how to install a report builder. Using a report builder, we can able to create a paginated reports. That's what we have seen in our previous videos. So now it's time for us to create our first paginated reports. Without further delay, let's begin our today's topic. For this, your prerequisite is like ensure you have Microsoft SQL Server installed or any other database management system. It can be Oracle or Azure SQL or any other database management system that you prefer. And I'm going to use the AdventureWorks database, and in your case, if you do not have AdventureWorks, you want to practice in your own data set or database, it's up to you. You can practice. But those who are learning from my channel, you can use MS SQL Server, AdventureWorks database. And if you are asking me, I don't have any of this, how to do that, I already made a video to ensure how to install SQL Server, right? So this video you can watch to understand how to install the DBMS. Once you install this, you follow this video how to restore AdventureWorks database. So these are the two prerequisites before you design your first paginated reports. Let's begin. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for notification. So let us launch our Power BI report builder. Once you go to your Windows menu, you can start typing Power BI report builder. I recently opened, that's why it appeared. And here is the one thing I want to highlight. Then you are going to create a new report. There are different ways to create using a wizard. Wizard will help you to navigate to the list of steps that you have to perform before creating the report. So as the name indicates, what are the steps? You need to connect to the source, you need to get the data set, and then you need to design your report, then you need to view it, right? So everything you can implement using this wizard. If you are very new to this paginated reports, you can go by this. It will give you a rough skeleton or initial version. Then you can enhance on top of that. Okay, if you want to go by blank report, everything you need to do manually one by one. Let's go by this, learn in a proper way so that I can explain what are the things present in the paginated reports. So go by blank report first. Now first things first, I will try to explain my best with what are the different options available over here. So you can see from here the report data section. This pane contains the, as the name indicates, is going to hold your data for your reports. Then this is the parameter pane, where some reports, if you want to do a parameterize, it's optional one, whether if you need a parameterize based on the user selection filtered, then only this report will be viewed. So this is your parameter pane. This is the body, where if you click on it, you can see the body properties, where you are going to actually design your reports. What are the elements you are going to place in this report page that will start appearing in your reports. And as I said, you can set this page size. I mean, you can see from here this body size, how much it has to be fit. And also when you click on here, this is the report properties. See, this is your body properties, and when you click outside, the white area, the gray area here, which is the report properties. Here also you can set this page size, margins, interactive size, everything together. So this is more controllable for your printing purpose. So A4 size is the ideal printing size. So this is the default size, I think. So for this, if you design your reports will be pixel perfect, everything fit within that specified format. So these are about your different viewing area. And what about these row groups and column groups, that I will explain it later while we design the reports. Then coming to view, so these are the 4 different items that we have seen. Report data is this, and grouping area is this one, parameters at the top, and properties are ruler. So whichever is not required, we can uncheck it so that we will get more space for designing. So right now I don't want parameters, I need properties later. So right now I will hide these 2 things. Then coming to here, you can design your reports. So these are the things you can have as part of your Power BI paginated reports. You can have a table, matrix, list. Predominantly this report is meant for table and matrix. Then also you can also have a charts as well. It is not only the table or printed reports. You can also have a charts, gauge, map, data bar, sparkling indicators. And now you might have thinking in your mind, if you are having charts over here, then why we need to go here, as well as why you need to design it in the Power BI report itself, right? So these questions you will try to understand later part of this playlist. For now, you focus on how to create paginated reports. Once you clearly understand paginated reports, then you will have a comparison, why we need to go for paginated, why we need to go for what makes we move to Power BI reports. So first things first, now let's try to create it. Now to create the report, we need a data. So as I said, we need to get the data inside this report. In order to get that, first we need to create data sources. These things are optionals for now. Now we will create the first data source. like add data source. So here we will specify the name. As I mentioned, I'm going to bring the AdventureWorks database. I'm just naming ADV, that is AdventureWorks, and AWN demo, that is analytics with nags. My data source resides in SQL Server, so I'm choosing this. And more importantly, you can see Power BI paginated reports can be able to connect only with this data sets available over here. Around 10 to 12, I think. Only these data sources you can able to create. Unlike Power BI reports can able to create 100 plus sources, this able to create only with the structural data. That makes sense because it is a paginated. You have to print the reports for more number of pages or tabular format. So most of your data will be structured. So this is the one important aspect you need to remember. And connection string, if you have a connection string with you while you connect to Excel to some of the database, it will create a connection string. If you don't know, just go to build and start creating it. Sorry, so server name is, you can get it from here, database, get this server name and paste it here. Then once you connect to that server name using authentication, in my case it's Windows, I'm using that, then go to AdventureWorks, then ensure that connection is working fine, click on OK, then click on OK again. Now what you did, so you have connected to only to the database, okay, which is nothing but a connection to the database. You have not brought any data yet. Okay, the bringing of data, once you bring your data, it is called your data sets. Okay, so you can add a data set here. It is like I'm going to bring one simple report for products, so dim products. Okay, this is the name to that data set, and from which data source I need to bring, it will list down here. So you need to choose whatever you created in the previous step, MS, ADV, AWN demo. Then you can either type a query, or when you click on a table here, or query designer, when you go to query designer, you can choose from the list of tables available in that database. In my case, I want to make it very simple report. I have made some query available over here. So what it will return is that you can see from here, AdventureWorks dim product, where product category is not null. I don't want anything with null, and status equal to current products, which returns 197 records. Let me run it for you. So I will take this column, and also you notice like this dim product contains a lot of columns, unnecessary columns, around 20-30 columns. I filtered out which is not required. I've just taken it, and then I'm going to Power BI report builder, just pasting it just for this demo. Just click on OK. Now you can see a data set appeared, only one table appeared. Now when you click on add data set, if you want to bring another table, okay, say for example query designer, sorry, what was the error? I need to choose okay, text. Let's go with query designer. Let's say I want to bring the dim product subcategory. Okay, this table I want to bring it here. Then you are having this designer here, then click on OK. So this is nothing but dim sub category, dim sub product or subcategory. Okay, right. Okay, so this is dim product, this is dim subcategory, and you notice that there is no relationship between them. This is one data set, this is another data set. We will discuss deep about these things later part of the videos or another video, but you need to understand there is nowhere you can create a relationship between the tables here. Whatever you want to do, within the same table you can able to create the reports here. This is for your understanding, don't confuse with that. I brought two tables here. With this we'll stop here. Then how I can create a report. So this is, I said, this is your report creation area where you can design your reports. Let's start with a simple table report. Insert a table. So once you click here, insert table, then you can see one plus symbol appeared here, then drag and drop. That's it. I'm just zooming in now. So this table by default it will give you three columns with 2 rows. So this will have your header, this will have your data. So what this table should contain, what data should be populated, right? That is what we need to inform or design here, the report definition you are giving. So I'm just going to get the product name and the list price and the size, maybe product name, size and the list price. That's what I'm going to see. So let's click on here, and here you have option to choose from which data set I need to get this data. You see I'm choosing the data source first, then this particular dim products, okay, then I'm choosing the English product name. So once you choose from here, it's not you need to click on header, you need to click on data, then you are mapping it here. Once you mapped your first column, so this table is assigned or mapped to this data sets. Now in this column you will not get option again to show which data set, okay, because you are going to show data from a data set dim products you already mentioned. So since there is no relationship, you cannot have different data sets information in the same table. So that is one important aspect. So once you map to single data set, your table is fixed to that data set. So now once you mapped, it is not asking for again to choose. Now in this case it showed dim products, whatever columns present, then I'm choosing it. Here again you go and choose the list price, okay. This is what, so this is the table I want to see here. So unlike Power BI reports, you are not getting the results immediately as you map these columns in this report definition. That is the one important aspect of it, okay, that is important. And how you can see it, you need to run it. So before that I will add a title here, list of products report, okay. I made it and I'm going to list it down, and here you see at the footer session we by default there is the execution time when this report is run. That is the default option that appeared once you create a blank report itself. So this report will contain a header, one simple table, and at the end it will have the when it is executed. So in order to see this report, you click on run. Now you can see from this is the header, and you got a list of products along with the different price name, and you can see from here there are different pages, 4 out of 5. We are in the 5th page, 6th page, 7th page, it's keep going till 9th page. And at the end, when you see at end of these pages, you are in 8th page. When you scroll down, you see there is a when it has been executed. So when you see next page, at the end you see when it has been executed. That is what it appeared. So this will be appearing on the your reports, I mean to say your paginated reports. This is the output of your paginated reports. Now you can able to adjust this columns because it's not appeared properly, and some of the properties we will try to change it now. Like I have selected here, so it will appear completely all the columns. I made it bold. Then in order to have some colors, click on that and make it some red over here, or individually you can click and make some coloring options or italic options, something better than that. Okay, there are a lot of formatting options. We will try to understand it later. I have changed this report slightly. Let us go and check how it looks like now. Now you see it was somewhat better than the previous design. You can see from here, I'm seeing it in the print layout where it was very neat over here, right? So this is fine. This is about your paginated reports. In our next video, we will try to compare Power BI reports with your Power BI paginated reports, so that you will have a clear understanding about when to choose Power BI paginated reports. If you are new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for notification. If you like this video, hit the big thumbs up button. We are going to see a difference between Power BI paginated reports and Power BI reports. We are going to create a same data set and reports using both Power BI paginated reports and Power BI reports, and let us try to understand the real difference, because now you are all aware like paginated reports meant for printing, and this is not for printing, all other stuffs. But unless you see how it actually different, you will not get the point why we need to go for paginated reports. What is the advantage of going for it? That's what we are going to see as part of this video. Let's begin without wasting time. So paginated reports, how it is different from Power BI reports, right? Let's try to understand it by some points. It is ability to print all the data. That's what we have seen so far. Limited data source. This is another important aspect, as we are creating our first Power BI paginated reports. We have created previous video where I have shown only 10 to 12 data sources, that is structural sources, structured, right? Structured database, DBMS only it can able to create, connect, and also the SQL Server Analysis Service or Azure Analysis Services. And there is no concept called data model in paginated reports. That is what we are going to see in this video. And modify your data filtering grouping by adding formulas or expressions. In case of paginated reports, there is no concept of DAX or some kind of querying. We will call it as formulas or expressions, right? So this is what how it is different from Power BI reports. The format the paginated report stores is RDL, that is report definition language, and Power BI is that Power BI extension, I think. So this is what the core difference between paginated reports and Power BI reports from the development perspective, and also there is some certain difference in deployment. Let us try to understand it later part of this playlist. Let's start. So we have created this report. If you have not seen my how to create this simple paginated reports, watch my previous video in the playlist. Now first things first, you can see it is untitled yet. So let us save this report, save as. Now you can see report definition language. Okay, so I will name it as product list. Okay, it's already a report, so no need to specify product list report, something like that. So product list report definition language, RDL. Once you save it, it will save it as report definition language file. Then, so those who are seeing the very first time, we have created this simple report. When you run this report, you can see this will give you the list of products. Okay, this report contains around 190 records. So each page you can see the print layout where you can see clearly it is easy to print, right? So like over here in the each page you have a list of products and you can able to print all these 12 pages. That is what it is. Whereas when you create the same report in Power BI, so let us try to create and try to compare other things as we discussed. So let me try to get this data. So in case of Power BI reports, you will use the get data and you will choose the list of tables, right? Here first I will choose the SQL Server database. Let's connect. So in the same step, I mean to say, once you create a get data, in the same step itself you will get the data. This is one core difference. You need to understand it, because you don't need to create a data source and then get the data for the table, because you are connecting to the database to get some tables list. So that is what it is avoided in the Power BI phase. What I'm trying to say, I will, once I connect, I will let you know. So once I choose this one, I'm choosing the dim product, okay, and I will say dim product subcategory, because these two tables we have brought as part of Power BI Paginated reports, if you remember. So even here the dim product, I've written a query there. So in this case you can go to transform data. So whatever filters I did here, like product category is not null, is current, I can do it over here. So product subcategory is not null means select all, remove this, then is current, okay, that is status equal to current. I will use this one. So this will give you again you can see 197 rows, which is what we are getting over here. So the data is filtered in both the reports. Let's close and apply. So you remember here, while creating this data sets, in order to bring these two, I need to create the data source first. Data source is connection to the database. In order to get the table one dim products and dim subproduct, I need to choose from the data set. In order to bring multiple tables, I cannot do it here. Let us try to bring one more table like product category and see what happens. So here when I choose query designer, you can see from here dim product category, okay. When I choose, what happened, dim scenario, okay. When I choose these two, dim product category and dim scenario, let's see what happens. See, the following tables are not related and rest of the query, because here what it meaning is like a data set, it belongs to, if you create a data set, it belongs to one data set, right? So whatever you are trying to bring, there should have a relationship, meaning like if you are creating one product data set, you can join these three tables together, product subcategory, all this together, then bring it as a single data set. This I can name it as product complete, okay. So what it will happen, so data, you cannot create a relationship between the data sets. That's what you want to understand from the paginated reports point of view. So once you bring the data here, each data set is dedicated to itself. So it is, there is no relationship between this data set and another data set, okay. Whereas if you see in Power BI, you can able to bring these two tables and you need to create a relationship in order to get some interactivity between these two tables columns, right? This is another important aspect of it. So here in Power BI you can bring these three tables, product subcategory, product category separately, and you can create a relationship so that you can filter category and everything goes smooth. Whereas in paginated reports, in order to do such a things, you need to create a single table combining product subcategory and category. That is what I made it here. You can see from the query here, from dim product subcategory, product as well as dim category, everything joined and brought it in a single table or data set, okay. So even though you have products and subcategory here, there is no relationship. When you are creating one report from this data set, this will not disturb another data set. So you can see, you choose from here. Already this is mapped to dim products, right? Then you cannot have a mapping to product complete here. So there is no relationship between the data set. That is the first thumb rule you need to understand. Okay, this is clear. So this is what in the checklist I said, no data model. So you have only data sets in paginated reports, and each data set there is no connection. You can create some parameters to filter, that is later part of the story, but for your understanding, data sets are not related, there is no data modeling. Then as you can see from here, add data source, as I said, only limited data sources connections. So this point also it's done. Then ability to print all the data in the table. This is the most important point why we need to go. So we have brought this data into Power BI, okay, dim product. So here you can see we have designed this report. If you are not watched, just watch it my previous video. List of products. So same report we will try to create it here. So let me write a text box here. So in order to get that same field, okay, I need to go here, insert a text box, and I can name it as list of products. Okay, this is the report name. I will increase the size to 42 and just move it and keep it here. This is the text box, right? Same thing over here. And what report I have created? I have created the list of products over here. So what I'm trying to create the same report. This report contains product name, size, and list price from a table. So same thing I'm going to create here. Product name, or is the product name? Come on, English product name. English product name, then size, then list price. Okay. Now you can see from this diagram, I mean this report, let us try to increase the size slightly so that everyone can view it properly. 14, or let me increase to 16. Excuse me. Okay, let's have some page background. Okay, now you see here this list of products. Okay, where is that list? Where it went? It's okay. List of products. Again, I'm typing because it's hidden somewhere. Shift Control End. Okay, leave it. Okay, now we have designed some similar report over here. List of products here, and English product name, size, and list price. Size and list price. So when I do this is the actual report that you are going to see. So as soon as you see, when you drag and drop the objects here, the data appeared over here, you got the results, and by default you got the total results as well. Whereas here you are just designing the report, you are not getting the output immediately. Now to see the output, you click here, and you see here for each row, that is the report, for each row the report is printed for each product. You can see from here, this is the first page of out of 11. Then you click on second page, third page, every page you can able to view it. In print layout, you can see here it will be printed in 11 or 12 pages, how many pages. Whereas here in Power BI, when you go and do the export as PDF, okay, let it export and launch. You can see here it is one single page report, and you have like a bar, scroll bar over here. What is this? Is the actual difference everyone is claiming. Like in Power BI reports, whatever you see here will be exported as an image. You cannot print how many records over here, right? So in order to view it, you can expand as much as possible. It is not practically possible here. So how many page it will go? Now you can say 190 products. So you, even if you increase the page to some 2000 3000 width, then in future you got 1000 products, you cannot print it. That is not practically possible. So whatever you see in within a page, which will be exported as an image, just a screenshot. Whereas in paginated reports, whatever you are designing here, which will be expanded to each page. So I hope you understand now. You see here, this contains 197 rows page. This is the second page. This is the third page. Like that, it will keep on going. This is the core difference between Power BI reports and Power BI paginated reports. And with this, let's go and highlight this. This is completed. That is the core difference why we need to go for paginated reports, that is ability to print all the data in a table. And also initially we have seen the difference between the storing of file, that is the file extension, because both are different softwares. Obviously the extension of storing the file is different. Let's stop this video by discussing the one last point. Here a lot of things like filtering, grouping, sorting, and most of the things in Power BI paginated reports done through some formulas or expressions. For that we will try to see how it can be done in Power BI and in Power BI paginated reports. Let's discuss one scenario. Like we have this list price. I need to check what is the new list price if I subtract 2, right, from whatever the list price is all about. From that $2 I want to reduce. So list price minus 2, that's what I want to do. In case of Power BI, how we can do such a things is like when I want to see this by product list price wise minus of 2, I can create a calculated column, correct? So let's try to do that. Let's try like a new measure. I will say like it's a measure. Basically when it is a measure, you need to wrap it around with some calculated column. So I will say new price, and what I need to do is like sum of list price, because I'm going to see only by product. Here in Power BI you might have aware for each and everything we need to write a measure. So minus of 2, so sum of dim product list price minus of 2. So when I use this new price here, so this is what I receive. 159 is 157 6.9. So from each dollar or rupee it is $2 less. So same thing how you can achieve it. So in order to do that, in this table you right click and create new column towards right. Okay, when you press on this, here you need to compute that formula. See, for each product you got the list price, that using a mapping. Here you no need to give a mapping here. Instead you can start typing your formula over here. First of all, the header we can give a new name here, new price. It is like giving a name in the measure. Here you need to type a column. So after this video you forget about how you will implement in the Power BI. Once you focus on Power BI paginated reports, just you need to do it in this way. So in order to create a column, you start typing create a new column, then give a name for that column. Then here what you need to do, list price minus 2. How you can do it? Right click, expression. So this is what we said. So expression, in this expression you can have anything like system, date, parameters, everything. First things first, from the fields, that is from the data sets. Fields means from the data sets or fields from this particular product. I need the list price. Fields of list price dot value, which will give you the list price minus of 2. That's it. So when I use this one, it says expression, right? So when you run this one, you will see again you have some values. So the blank is considered 0, so 0 minus 2, that's what it's returning. That is fine. You can see from here 34.99, 32.99. so this is how you can create your calculations for each row, how it should work. That is what it is. So this is what a simple definition or expressions, for expression, how you can dynamically create some calculations, right? And I thought one of the important point I missed out in the beginning is like, it is not an interactive report between the charts. What do you mean by that? The paginated reports is not interactive. When you click on one visual, other visuals will not filter. Let's try to see in this demo. Like, we have this reports as we already seen. Now let us try to introduce another chart here. Let's take matrix visual, and I want here we have a product, right? So let me have a product subcategory. So let's try to have product subcategory, or I can say like this is from product, right? And let's take it from color. Okay, I added here, and let's add here color, and I'll just have the count of products. Okay, just will get list of products or count of products. For that I need a product key. Where is that? So let's give a product key here and make that as count. Okay, now I will have a same format for this as well. So what do you mean by interactivity? When you see here, when I click on it black, the report, another report or another chart, this is called as chart, right, or table visual, this visual also filtered. If you click on blue, this visual also filtered. This is in Power BI. Whereas in paginated reports, let us try to add another chart. So let me have this table here. I will add one more visual similar to our Power BI reports. I will add a matrix here, and here I need to add, here you see here I used only the product from dim products. Okay, same thing I need to use, so that only maybe we will check the interactivity. We already know if we used some other table, there won't be, definitely, since the data sets are not related, there won't be any interactivity. So I'm using the same data sets here. So click on it, dim products, and use color. And here what I will do, I will have a product key. Here it is sum. I want to change it. So instead of sum, I will go and change it to expression. Instead of sum, I will say count. So this is how you will change it. Okay, now when you run it, since it's a matrix, it will not repeat, so it will be group by. So same black is 45. When you click on black, see the table doesn't filter. That's what I want to highlight. When you click on it, the table remains same. It is 12 pages or end of when you go to last 9 pages at the end. So even you click on black, nothing, it is remains same. So it is not so interactive in terms of charts. So when you click on one chart, another chart will not filter, but you can enable the interactivity using the parameters that we will discuss later part of the videos. So this is to ensure the difference between Power BI paginated reports and the Power BI reports. The charts are not interactive. So this is another important aspect. So in this session, we're going to see about how to create a paginated reports using table or matrix wizard. In our previous video, we have seen a simple report creation from the scratch without using a wizard, and this is the time for us to look how to create reports using a wizard. Both are important. In sometimes if you want to quickly create your reports, this method can be used. Let's begin. This channel contains a free content worth $75,000 INR, $1,000 US dollars. So please utilize this free content which covers MSBI, SQL, Power BI, and those who are looking for career guidance. I have a separate playlist for them to get into this data analytics field. With this note, let us begin. So first things first, let's go to Power BI Report Builder. Click on Power BI Report Builder, and as we said, now we are going to create using table or matrix wizard. This is the time for us to choose a data set. If it's already exists, we can choose it. We do not have anything, so let's try to create it. For that, we need a data source. Let's name it as ADV DW AdventureWorks Data Warehouse Demo. Then if you have a connection string, you can paste it. We do not have, we can start building it. You can give the server name. This is my server name, and just paste it. Then click on AdventureWorks DB here. This is where the data lies. Test connection to ensure now data is, we connected to the database. Once you click on it, in this step we have created a data source connection, that is, we authenticated to the database. We not yet built the dataset. Dataset is one we will work on creating the reports. This is just a connection to the database. We are authenticated to the database. Now once you click on it, here we can able to build our dataset. Like your dataset can be anywhere in this database, right? It can be a single table or combination of tables. As I said before, you cannot bring the individual tables and then create a relationship in the Power BI paginated reports, unlike we do it in the Power BI reports. Here, in order to create a relationship or already existing relationship, you need to choose those tables and create whatever columns you require. So you will merge it into a single query, then combine it as a single data set. That is what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say here, let us try to bring some columns from the fact internet sales and also from product and year and sales territory. Okay, in order to bring these columns, whatever is required, those columns I can bring it from here. So what I'm trying to say, not choosing all the columns as such like this in product subcategory like this. Instead of that, what I'm trying to say, choose whatever columns required. From the fact internet sales, I want only the sales amount and the order quantity. Okay, only these measures is enough for me. And then here in the dimension, I need from dim product English product. Okay, that is product name and what color it is. Then click on OK. Then product category, I need product category name, that is enough. Product subcategory, I need product only subcategory name. Along with that, from the date table, okay, I need calendar year as well as fiscal year. So choose whatever columns you need and ensure that this database, in the AdventureWorks database, the relationship is already created, meaning these are the primary keys. The dim product, dim category, everything have is the primary keys and will have a respective foreign keys. Okay, so both tables are related using the relationship. So only then this kind of queries will work. Okay, I mean to say building using the wizard. So not using the wizard, using the designer query. You can write a query, but unless if you already have a relationship defined, follow this method. Okay, so along with product and year, fact internet sales, what else I need? I need some columns from the territory. So country, region, group. Okay, this is enough. So all these columns I need, and I will say auto deduct the relationship between whatever columns I choose from different tables. Whether the relationship already created in the database, then I will say auto deduct. Okay, that's it. Once you click on it, auto deduct. Okay, then click on next. Okay, in this step, either you can go for group and aggregate, whether you want to group by these columns, or you want the raw data for each row in the fact table. Whatever you define in the fact table, then each row you can add it. So I will go for sales order number here. Okay, I will have each row. I'm not going for this group and aggregate, just I need a plain raw data. So when you click on next, what happens here? Let's go and click on it. So now you see sales order number, everything is the raw data, only the columns you chosen, we have got it. How I want to view this report? I want to view each country wise. Okay, country wise, and based on the calendar year, I want the sales amount, how much total sales amount. This is the matrix report I want to view. So when you click on next, so this is what this is how you will get to see this report, whether this is okay or not. You want any other options to be included here, then you can choose it over here. I hope it is grayed down, grayed, because we didn't add much options over here like multiple columns or some other columns. That's why it is grayed out. So this is your final design. Now this is not only single table you want to create as a report. You can add another charts or reports over here as well, okay, for your information. So this is what we are built using a wizard. In our previous videos or session, we have seen we have created manually data source, we have created the data set manually, then we created dragged and dropped the report, and then we viewed the report. But wizard help us to create all the steps by itself, one after the other, so that you get some initial template. This is not going to be your final output, right? So you can, this is the initial version, and then on top of that you can able to enhance the report. So that is the main purpose of your wizard. Now let's try to rename this properly. This is ADV Adventure Works DW demo. Okay, this is your data set name. Now this is data set, name it as DS. Now you can see from the columns we have chosen, right? When I say auto detect, it has detected the relationship and it has written the query. From the query you can easily see from the diagram, fact internet sales, inner join, dim sales territory. So let us try to copy this query and try to understand. Now you can able to understand from here, fact internet sales, inner join, and dim product subcategory, category, everything. We didn't write the query because we say auto detect the relationship. Once you choose the columns, whatever you choose, that will become part of your select statement, I mean select clause, and the tables you have chosen obviously become the inner join once you press the auto detect. So this is how this relationship, the fact and dim sales territory, should be explicitly present in your database. Okay, I mean to say the AdventureWorks database, you need to have the relationship. You can see from the diagram here, the product is related to the product primary key is related to the fact internet sales. Fact internet sales product key is the foreign key. So this relationship should exist, then this query will be automatically occurred here. Okay, that is how you need to understand. I hope this is fine. Okay, once we created, it's time for us to launch the report. Let's try to launch it and check it out how it works. So it's very first time we're launching, it will take some time. I hope there is some issue in generating this report. So if there is no data is coming, if something going wrong, then we should get some data, right? So hope the query has some issue once you are building it. We already have this query copied here. Let's try to copy once again and put it over here. So basically I think there won't be any issues here. I suspect something in dim date, because you see here, what I'm trying to say here is like why I'm saying I'm pretty much I worked this data set before. I'm aware of what is going wrong, because now you see the data exists in fact sales, okay, and even if you select till dim product, you will get some results, that is count of records. But when you do the join of dim date, you will not get any results. Why? Because when we say auto deduct, this dim date is connected to fact internet sales with the 3 columns: order date, due date, and ship date. So we have joined this as joined with all the columns. This is not the way you need to join. We need to join the inner join first with the order date key, then these columns will not be occurring here, okay. So that is different part of the story. That is not the way we can troubleshoot it. So this is auto detect will do some kind of confusions like this when you have a relationship set. Now when you run this query, you will get the results. So this is your proper query. So it's always better to write your query on your own, then you can use that query over here. Now when you click on OK, now let's try to launch the report. Now this is what you get. So this is your matrix report, this is your sales territory, and you have your calendar year wise how much you will get. So if you in this session, we will see about how to add charts in Power BI paginated reports. Basically, in our previous sessions, we have seen how to create a simple table and matrix reports, and it's time for us to create a charts in the paginated reports. Let's begin. I'm in paginated reports now, and we have the simple matrix reports that we have created previously. Let's try to add a chart. Before that, let's try to reduce this title little bit. So you see it is the when you click on it, the property window, ensure that you check this property window so that the property window will appear. Let's try to reduce the size. So I do not want this much. Let's make 16 point, and I'll start typing this as sales analysis, okay, and this is what it is. And alignment, if you want, I think we can change all these things later. Let's try to add our chart as per the topic. And now when you see these are the table and matrix that we have seen. Now how to add a chart: when you click on a chart, either you go by chart wizard or the insert chart, okay. The wizard will walk you through the list of steps because we already have a data source and data sets. When you go to the wizard, it will add a chart. We can choose between these sources already, or you want to create a new, you can go for it. Let's go by a simple way. Insert a chart. Once you insert, you can see the plus symbol here. You can add anywhere in this body. Now I'm adding this chart over here. Once you have this chart over here, you can able to choose any of the chart type. Let's go by pie chart or exploded pie, whatever it is. Let's choose this one. Once you click on it, you can see from the diagram it is not so sufficient. Let's try to add data first. Once you add it, it doesn't got the any data set. We have only one data set. So once you click on anywhere, either here in the chart or in the category label, the chart data property will start appearing for you. Here you can add what values to add and how you want to categorize. I mean, as you aware of pie chart, viewing part of as a whole. So you add, I want to view the sales amount, and here in the category group, let's go by color, in what colors this total sales is happening, and let's try to view this report. You can see from here the diagram, it is very small once we build this chart, and it is very small, right? So basically you need to increase this size of the page. Let's try to increase the size. You click on the body, then increase it to somewhere around 100 or 80, and you can see from here you can as you can see, after this table I have added this chart. So once in the output also, this chart is appearing after the list of tables, the list of values populated for this table, then it is populating, if you have noticed it. Let's try to launch it again, and you can see what I'm trying to say. Now you can see, like, once you have seen this chart, once the data is populated, then only this chart is appearing here. That is what I meant. So now we have built the chart. Now the chart doesn't have any data in it, so in order to add it, right click on it and then show data labels. Once you click on it, then you can add a chart title here, like sales by color, right? Once you click on it, you can add the title, right click and show data labels. So the data labels, I mean, what are the value, will start appearing here. Now you go and click on view. So this is how you can add the chart here, but you can see the values are overlapping. We can edit or reduce this value, because here you can say like sales by color in millions, okay, in millions. Then you can edit this function or sum of values using the series properties. Once you click on it, you go to expression, then divide by something around million or trillion or 100,000s. Okay, now I put 100,000s. So here also you put 100,000s. Okay, not in millions, you can say 100,000s. So in that way you can able to accommodate or fit the value here. Now still it is appearing with some decimal places. To avoid such a things, again go to series properties, then expression, then wrap all these value with the round function. So what are those functions available? I will come to that later. So this is how your expressions is very useful. I hope we are not covered that session, but now we can see this is 51,000s. Okay, this is 88,000. This is the sales value. So this is how you can add the chart to your reports and then format it. And you can also have a ability to change this chart type. You can see I don't want this, I will go for bar chart now. Let's go by this. Then you can expand it little bit, I mean not here, expand the width. Okay, like this. Let's try to launch it. Now how it appears. So immediately you can see the data are started appearing over in the different bar charts that we have just now used. So you can also have a different formattings. Those things I will take a separate session or video. And for now, how to add a chart. This is how you can add a chart. Insert chart, and you can add a chart and right click and you can change the chart type. Let's try to understand what is this series groups. You can have a split among these series groups. What like for each color, how much for each year, how much it has been sold. Okay, or you can see here, so it will appear like this. So calendar year A, calendar year B. So this is what a series group is. So this split you can able to view using your series groups. Okay, so for black in this year, this is the value. I think we need to expand the chart to able to view it better, and we can move this legend somewhere else. Right now I will remove this so that it will fit. Now you can view the results properly. So this is year 1, year 2, year 3. Legends can be moved here or there, or we can add the legend once again if you want. Okay, so this is how you can control your charts in your Power BI Paginated reports. Welcome to Analytics with Nags. This is another video in the Paginated reports where I'm going to talk about row groups and column groups in Paginated reports. If you can see from the bottom, here you have row groups and column groups. Once you started designing your Paginated reports, you will find something when you have table visual in your charts, in the Paginated reports. You will find some columns added when you keep adding the records here, right? So what is the purpose of it and when to use it? That is what we are going to see as part of this video. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for notification. This channel contains 75,000 INR worth contents which covers MSBI, Power BI, SQL Server. So please utilize this content freely available to you and share with your friends and colleagues. With this note, let us begin our today's topic. So I'm in Paginated reports. So I'm going to create a simple region and product category reports. So let's try to add a data source. I will quickly add it. We are already familiar with how to add such a data source here. So let me quickly do it for you. So this is your data source. And I will add a data set here. I will try to choose the data source from here, whatever created previously just now a few minutes back. Now I need to choose the what are my data sets. As I indicated in the report, it is sales report by region as well as the product category. So I need all those things. So let us try to get the quantity, order quantity, and the sales amount from the fact. Only these two things I needed from here. And from product, I have a product name. Let's get the product name from here. And the product subcategory, English product subcategory, and product category name. And then, as I said, I need the region. I have this region from the sales territory. I will bring region, country, and group. Okay, and also I would like to get some year. So let us go for calendar year now from the dim date. So these are the fields I need: order quantity, product category, subcategory, region, country, and group. So these are my fields I require for this report. Let's try enter. And as we see in our previous issues, when you choose the date is related 3 times in the fact table, so all the columns are mapped. So we will face issues, so try to remove it, otherwise you will not get the reports, right? So only one join, that is only based on the sales order date. Other 2 joins you can remove it. Just click on it. Okay, I'm not doing any naming for it. Just I can say like sales. Okay, I'm doing it very quick because these are the things, preliminary things that we have already discussed. So we have a data set now. Let us try to understand these row groups and column groups. So let me bring this table here, and as soon as you drag and drop, you see the details figure. What I'm trying to say is, like, let us try to add some values over here: category and region, and I will say order quantity. Now you can see there is no column groups or row groups. Only in the row groups we have something called details, the 3 lines over here, which indicates like whatever you got in this data set. Say for example 1000 rows, all those 1000 rows will be displayed as part of this table. That is what it meaning. So when you click on run and see the reports, you can see the report keep goes on for different pages because it is designed like a details. This is what not I want. I want to build something like a group of report. Like I want, if there is 5 countries, I want to display 5 countries in a row, and if there are 3 product category in the column, just like a pivot or matrix table. So either you can do the table or matrix using both. I will show the table using table visual how you can do it, and similar results you can achieve using a matrix as well. So table, so basically to give a short explanation, these row groups, column groups, use it to group by of your columns in your data set to display the results. That is what it will do. Now I don't want the details anymore, and before doing that I need to choose like the details I don't want now. So I can before deleting I can choose the data set. I can assign a data set to this table. So where I can assign it, you can, once you choose this table X here, right, you can have data set name. Okay, once you come here, you have data set, only single data set, that's why it's appearing. Sales, you map the data set name to the, in general tab, first thing is data set name. Once you click on the table, then it will appear. You see, ensure you are touch the table here. Then I don't want a table anymore, just click delete rows. Okay, then here coming to, you want country wise data, right? Or yeah, I will have a group first, then followed by a country. So I want, instead of adding directly the sales territory group, right click and do the add group. I want row groups, which is nothing but your group by. So I want the parent group first. So before first group, what you want, I want the parent group as the group, the sales territory group. Okay, when I press OK, then it is fine. On the next column, what I want the country. So here next, again in the row group, you say like add group, you say like child group. So child group will sit under the parent group. So now once I add, you can able to understand child group. I want the country. Okay, now you see here one level down, and also you can see from the diagram, instead of 3 lines, okay, earlier in details 3 lines appear, now it was like open parenthesis like over here. So we have 2 groups here, one is a sales territory group and then one for the country. We have added it, and also I can add the total for these groups. So like add total after. So you can do after or before. I will do the after. Once you keep like this, then you will find something like you will have only one entry for this group. Underneath, if you have 3 countries, it will display. So like this, it will display for you. So this is what your row group. First you need to add a parent group, underneath you will have a child group. Then similarly, let's try to run this report without having anything, and we will see how it looks. Now you can see the report looks like this. You have a group Europe, North America, Pacific. Underneath you have the different countries. So you do not map anything over here. Either you can remove these columns without the column groups. You can still hold the same report by mapping directly the order quantity or sales amount, whatever it is. But I want to show you the row column groups as well, how it looks like. Now when you right click on it, you can go to add group. In the column group, either you can add again the row group or column group. I want to do the column group now. So there is no column group earlier, that is why only parent group appearing. First you need to add parent group, then only you can go for a child group. So once you add a parent group for the column group, in this I want to see different product category. Okay, once I had that one, you can see the product category started appearing here at the top. That will be mapped already. Then what values you want to show. So once you click on it, you can see like I want to see the order quantity. I don't want to go for order amount now. Let us see like how it appears. Now once you added it here, let's try to run the report and see how it behaves. Now you can see from the diagram, this is the parent group for the row group, and this is the child group for the row group. Okay, 2 things appear, and this is the parent group. Only one group available in the column group, that is product category. So these 3 appear. What is these 2 blank rows? You can see these 2 blank rows appeared. So basically, once you design your report, how it will expand based on the data, after expanding there are two blank rows, so that also appeared. So this is how you need to imagine, okay, adding the column and row groups. And in this you want to add some summation or average of those things, you can still add it, no problem with that. So this is how you need to add. Now in this I will again add some kind of child group here. Let us try to add it. So I will add over here like child group. I will say like instead of product category I will say calendar year, okay, for each year how much it has appeared. So this is the child group. Let us try to see how it looks like now. Now you can see from the diagram, in the accessories below each year you got the data. So this is how you can add the child and column groups, the parent groups and child groups. So now let us quickly format these records. You can press shift control, I will say blue bold, and for this also I will say blue bold, and I will give some color to this over here. Let's go for yellow, same, and for this I will say like light blue. Let's see how it looks like. You can see from the diagram this is looking just a little neat, like you can still have ability to format. For this also you can choose the same color so that it will appear properly, and you can also name it. So now you can see from this you have a total, and for the total you can have different colors if you want, and this is how you can able to configure your row groups and column groups. Basically you need to do the group by of your tables, and I can still have the same results using the matrix. By default I hope the matrix is having the your what you call the row group and column group. Let's try to expand this report and then let's see how it looks. Now you see by default in the table visual you had 3 lines. By default matrix is part of, you already had 2 groups over here. That's why when you have a matrix visual you already choose one column here, the same column we will repeat here, you will get some data in a grouping. So similarly we can add over here what we had category name, and how to add a new column. Just go here, add group, child group, then here I will say product group and the country here, okay, sales group country, same thing, and I need to choose this guy, I mean that group, then add total. Once you add a total, so this will appear once, and underneath whatever countries appear, that will appear started appearing here. So let us do the same formatting here, and let's try to add another group, the child group here, and I can say calendar year again, and let's try to launch it now and see the results. So you might have asked me why we need to go for the table or matrix. If you can able to achieve some result, I mean why we need to exactly go for such a things, I'm pretty much not sure. I will definitely come back with some answers, but these are the some of the properties you can think of. When to go for table, when to go for matrix, that is different part of the story. I will take a separate video if time permits, but you need to understand what is this row group and column group, when to add, how to add it. That is the main purpose of this video. In this session I'm going to talk about expressions in paginated reports. These expressions are very useful while creating your paginated reports to make dynamically work based on your different expression statements. With this note, let us try to explore in demo. You can see from this is the typical report that we have been working on. What I'm trying to explain for you, where and all you can use the expressions. Let us try to see this report. I think something happened. Let us try to run this report. Okay, this is the basic report over here. Now accessories, bags and clothing, that is, we are seeing the region wise and each country along with your category and each year what is my data, I mean how much quantity it is sold. So this is the actual data. So in this report I just want to have explain the expression where and all it is useful. Like when you're seeing this data, you want to have what is the total average of these three. Okay, so you will add another column in each category. So for that, in order to calculate that, you can go for expressions. This is one scenario, you will go for expressions. Then another scenario is like here it shows the numbers, but you want to highlight which are less, which are more. You see like these amounts for each 2020 12 where the sales quantity is very less compared to 2013. So whichever is less than 100 you have to highlight it in red, which is greater than 100 you need to highlight in green. So those concepts you will go for expression. This is scenario number 2. And finally I will give you some examples about a header, when it is executed, all other stuffs. Let us go for that as a scenario number 3. First things first we will add average, and for that scenario how expressions can be used. So now here, as I said, you need to add one column. So right click and you can insert a column outside the group, right? Okay, you click on this. Here what I need order quantity, but I don't want this sum. Okay, by default actually to be forgot to explain, like by default this is having already an expression. Now you can see, right click and see the text box properties. Here either you can go click on text box properties and see here the expression is there, or right click here and directly choose expression. Either way you can navigate to the expression window. Now I do not want sum, I want average. Okay, so the average function is avg. If you ask me, I don't know how to write this, whether it's a avg or average, you can go to the common functions and click on the aggregate, so you can see what is the function name. So avg stands for average, that is what you have used here. And sometimes you might think like if you come here, you collapse this something you entered or deleted, how I can write. So here you can start writing using, once you come to that function, click on aggregate category, average. Okay, once again, so double click on it, so it will start up here, and what you want to average, that is will be in the fields.sales. Here you go and click on fields.order quantity. You can put it as sum of, okay, sum of average quantity. When you put like this, let us try to execute this report and check what is our average. Now you can see from this diagram, it is not calculating the average, instead it calculates only the sum. Okay, so the mistake here is it is trying to calculate this sum, and average is because for each row it has to divide these 2012 and 2013-14, it has to divide these years here. Okay, so instead of this simple average what we have put here, okay, what we need to do, you do this sum, okay, then divide it by distinct count of year. Okay, that is how it works. So when you do like this, count distinct of, in the fields you go to calendar year. Okay, So last time why it didn't work? Because for each cell it has calculated average, and for the total the value remains same. It has calculated this sum. So now the sum of quantity and then divide by year, that will be bring us the actual average. Now from here you can see here 12, 318, 134, which is around 3400 something. So that when you divide by 3, that is 3 years, then you will get the actual average here. And interestingly, you can notice these 3 rows give you the average, but this will give you the sum. Why? Here you see this is giving the average calculation we applied only here, whereas in the total we didn't give the average formula, we gave the sum. So this is how dynamically you can change your calculations based on your business requirement. It is not always you should have a total, but definitely obviously for this case it should have the same average formula here. But in your business scenario, some cases for row level you have one calculation, in total level you need to slightly do the average or percentage calculation. Certain calculations can be applied, right? So those times you can apply your own formula in your total. For simplicity I will delete it now. So this is how you can do your expressions. Now there is formatting options we need to do, so let me do it for you. I mean to say how you can do. You go to text box properties, you click on number, here you see number over here, then click on 2 decimal places, click on OK. Then once you see the results, then it will be perfect. It will look very neat. Now you see it is perfect. So this is one scenario. The first scenario we have used expressions. The next scenario I'm trying to explain is like background color, where you see here for the order quantity, whichever is less, right, you need to apply one color. Now you can see from here, either you can apply some default color. Once you apply here, you see all the cells, okay, that particular cell, I didn't apply for average, so all this cell will have the same color. But I do not want like this. Instead what I need is like for if I have less than 100, the order quantity is less than 100, then make it as red. If it is greater than 100, make it as green, right? How can I do it? So click on that cell, then go to background, you see expression. So wherever this expression exists, okay, then you can start writing that formula. So what is my formula here now? The sum of my order quantity, sum of my order quantity is greater than 100, okay, then make it as comma green. This is the syntax for if statement. If the condition, the logical condition is true, then it is green, otherwise make it as red. Okay, so this is what you are mentioning in the background color. So it is white here in the design phase. When you run it, now you can see here whichever is less than 100 you will get as red, and whichever is greater than 100 you will get it as green. So this is the another example. You can use the expressions for dynamically change your background colors as well. And one last example, like whenever this report is executed, I need to have the execution time. You can see from here execution time is one of the variable, and I also apply it over in the top as well. How I do it? Let's do that one by click on this text box, then you can say text box properties. Again you see fx stands for expression, and here you click on equals to, starts with the formula, so this should be wrapped within double quotes. Okay, then I will add another text like as on, okay, as on date when this report is executed. Then finally ampersand will concatenate the text. So these till this it is a text, Maybe I don't think this is required. All things are the plain text only, so I can make it till this one. Okay, as on date. Then what I need, you see the built-in fields, execution time, when this report is executed. You can combine that one along with your text here. So what will be the output here? Once you see earlier you had some default name, that is plain text, sales by product category and year or category country. Now along with that text you will have your date. So now you can see sales by region, product, as on date, when this has been executed. So this is another example. You can use expression. So in simple, expressions can be used anywhere in the table or in the text box or at the header, footer. So wherever you have expression, you have ability to change the report data dynamically. That is what simple example. In this session we are going to see what are parameters in Power BI paginated reports, and these parameters option which enable you to make somewhat dynamic in Power BI paginated reports compared to Power BI reports. Basically, like you have created the report, and we have seen the difference between Power BI and Power BI paginated reports. One of the drawback in paginated reports is interactivity. If you click on one chart, another chart will not filter, whereas there is a workaround, or this is the option for in Power BI paginated reports, which will look like somewhat dynamic. Basically, when you launch a report, you will have to provide your parameters in order to see your report, or it's optional field. Then you can see your report, and user has the ability to choose some other filters, basically, right, in terms of Power BI reports. Then report will show accordingly for that filter. So that is what it is all about, and in this video I'm going to explain or walk you through how you can create parameters and make your paginated reports dynamic. Let's begin. This channel contains a free content worth $1,000 or 75,000 INR, and which covers Power BI, MS BI, as well as Azure and SQL Server. So please utilize this content, share this channel with your friends and colleagues. Let's begin our today's topic. I am into paginated reports now, and those who are following this playlist, that paginated reports, they are aware of how we created this report. So for those who are looking for the very first time, you can see this report which contains accessories, that is product category wise, each year, and then different continent by countries, right, region and countries you have, and this will give you the average quantity. That is what we have built. If you are not aware how to build it, just watch this playlist. Now we have made some dynamic expressions here. Whichever is less than 100, this is red and green. Those things we have already seen. So today's topic is to choose only the accessories. If a user wants to see only accessories or bikes or whatever another category like clothing, how you can do that? That is what we are going to make some filters or parameters for the user. So you can see from here parameters available. So let us go one by one. Add parameter. Now here you have an option to choose what type of data it is going to contain. Basically it's text, boolean, date time, or integer, float. These are the only 5 data types you can able to choose. In our case it is text, we will go by that. Then available values, how these values are going to appear, right? What values it should appear. Here when you choose specify values, you need to add one by one. When you choose get values from a query, you need to choose from the another data set or the some other query. Okay, so let us go by specific values. This is a very simplest form, and in our next part of the videos we will go for advanced topic. So specify values, I'm going to specify those 3 values. So because user is going to choose from those lists, so just put label and value as same, no problem with that. So here it comes bikes, so you can add another value here, bikes. Okay, then finally you got clothing, add value here and clothing. There you go. Once you are done, these are the values you have added. Then go to general. Here the name it can be anything, just for understanding, it's a category parameter. Okay, the spelling is wrong, that's fine. Category parameter. And the prompt name, what it should appear while you choose that filter. So choose product. This is what important actually, because this will appear in your report. Choose product category. So once you choose this, then click on OK. Now what happened, you have created a parameter. Okay, let's try to launch this report and see how it works. We have seeing like, as soon as you created the parameter, the report is not directly launching, it is prompting us choose product category. You see here. So once you choose the report, then only it will make you to view the report. But our end objective is not met, right? Basically you choose accessories, then we are not filtering this particular report, right, only for the accessories. So where I need to do, that is the pending thing, we need to do it now. So to repeat, we have added a parameter, but we didn't say what this parameter has to do. That is what we are going to do. So once you add a parameter, how this report has to be filtered. Basically we are not going to filter anything with this table, we need to filter this data sets itself. Okay, once you choose a parameter, that parameter value should be passed to this data set, then only those respective data will be fetched from the data set. Let's try to do that. Where you can do it, double click on this data set, then you can go here, filters. Okay, then add, then you choose product category name, right, equals. There are a lot of operators like bottom and top end, you can explore it. For this simple example, I go to equal to, then you use these parameters, click on the parameter. We have created this category here which start appearing here, then double click on it, then click on OK. Now what we are saying, we are instructing this report, that is in this data set, once user chooses category, go and filter this data set and then show the value. That's it. Now this is how you will configure your parameter, and that parameter should be applied in your concerned data sets. Now once you choose this one, when you run it now, choose any one of the accessories or category, then click on the view report. Now you can see this report will be filtered for only that accessories. It takes a little while because the first time it is preparing that query. You see here, now we have seen only the accessories. Earlier you see accessories, clothing and bikes, everything. Now user has the ability to choose here and see the respective reports for the bikes here. Instead of accessories, only bikes will be appearing. Now instead of this, you can see clothing over here. So this is how you can able to add your parameters in your paginated reports. This is very simple example that I have made. So instead of this, the values can be fetched, right? The default values are specific values. You can see like available, I mean to say, here we have said like available values, specify values. Instead you can get the values from a query. How you can do it? Let us try to build a data set. What I am trying to say here is, here now the report shows for clothing 2012 2013. Now I want to add this filter also, the year filter also, as another parameter. that value I will get it from a query or some data set. Okay, basically now I brought it using add values. Assume you have something like insert data, right, where we can add a data set here which will have enter data also. I mean to say, here you have option called data and you can able to enter it, right, here enter data also. So how you can do it? So you can manually enter that data. So this is what your parameters is all about, and we will see further examples, advanced topics about parameters in our next session. In this session we are going to talk about cascading parameters in paginated reports. Those who are not familiar with this term, what I'm trying to achieve is like you have two columns or parameters. One is product category and product subcategory. But when you choose a product category, only those subproducts related to the chosen product category should be displayed. That is what a cascading parameter is. How you can implement in paginated reports, that's what we are going to see as part of this video. Let's begin. Now this is a very simple report that we have already created. Those who are not familiar with this report, just when you choose one product category here, like adding a parameter, once you add a parameter, then the respective data will be filtered in the data set, and only you can see the concerned report, right? If you choose the bikes, the report related to bikes only displayed here. That is how we created. If you are not familiar with how to create a parameter, just watch my previous video that we have done so far. But this topic is focusing on adding another parameter here, product subcategory, and then we will filter this bikes, that will filter this subcategory as well. Let's try to do that now. Now in order to get that subcategory, I need to create a data set. Prior to that, let me explain this parameter. Now this parameter is created using available values, specify values, just like accessories, bikes and clothing. I do not wish to have a same kind of thing. I'm not going to add manually, because there are different ways to do it. If it is one or two items and it is not going to change forever, then you can go for specify values, that is this option. But in your case, the data should be come from database, that is the proper design. So you should go for get values from query always. So for product subcategory, I need to create another parameter. Before that, I need to get it from the data set, right? So create one data set for that product subcategory. So where I can pick it up, this is the data source I have chosen. This is where my query lies. Query designer, I can go and choose from that table where I need product subcategory. Not all the columns I want, I just need product subcategory name, that is English product subcategory name, and I also need product category in this data set. I will tell you why. So I just need these two columns over here. Then click on OK. Now here you see validate query, query is validated. Here I don't want the entire thing. For safer side, you can use distinct over here to have distinct list. If it is repeated, that also will repeated in your filters or parameters as well. So give some name here, sub product category. Okay, then just click on OK. Now this is my product subcategory dataset. Okay, and I'm going to add a parameter for subproduct category. Now once you add it, you can see like you can say subproduct category. So prompt choose subcategory, that is product subcategory. Let us make it proper. Okay, now where this parameter should be populated, it should be populated from the query where that query exists. This is my query. What is that value field? This should be populated in my value field. Okay, you can also choose the subcategory label field as this, so you have chosen this. Okay, just click on it. Now you try to launch the report and let us see what is happening. You see product category as accessories. Once you choose this, okay, and also it see also the accessories and bikes sub product category, and also like clothing subcategory, everything appears here, right? Once you choose clothing, only those related to clothing should appear here. This is not happening now. Let us try to launch the report. What is happening? Because this has to be chosen somehow, right? The clothing, I will go for accessories and choose some helmets. Okay, let's go for view report. Once you choose these combination, okay, accessories, then choose sub product category, then also it appears. You see everything appears. Why? Because now this report is filtered only based on the category only, accessories. Even though you choose bikes and you choose this one, the product subcategory is helmets. Now you see under bikes you have only 3 subcategories, only road bikes, mountain bikes, touring bike. But here you see everything appear. This will create a confusion to the people. First of all, you need to filter these two based on the chosen parameter. How to do that? Right now this report works based only on this product category filter. So how it is working? Because if you watch my previous video, in the sales data set, I have already added a filter here, that is English product category name equals this one. Okay, so this is why we are filtering. Whatever you do filtering based on accessories, that is category only applied to this data set. That is how it is working. Now first of all, before filtering the sales, I need to filter this parameter, right? Now once you filter bikes, how I need to filter this parameter? That is, I'm not going to do anything in this parameter. This parameter, it says just to name of that parameter appear here, what should be appearing, where it should pick up. There is nothing to do anything else over here. Once you choose this one, this subproduct category should show only limited values. Where it is picking the data? It is picking the data from here. So go to this data set and go to the filters, add filter here, like the expression is product category name. This is why I asked you to add product category name as part of this subproduct category. This has to be filtered for the chosen parameter from the category, right? Whatever you choose in the category parameter will appear here. That will filter your this data set with product category name. If you choose accessories, what are the accessories subproduct will be filtered, then it will be shown. Now first things first, before fixing the entire report, let me show it to you how this appear. Now you see, as soon as you do the dependent combo, the cascading one, this is disappeared, because unless you choose something over here, this will not appear. Once you choose accessories, now you see only limited subproducts appear here. Once you choose bikes, only these 3 will appear here. So this is how you can do the cascading filter. Now still this report is properly not fixed, because even though you choose the product subcategory and the product category, only this report, the entire report is viewed only for that product category. We will apply this filter also for this particular report. Now to quickly summarize, like we have added already existing data set here. Now the cascading filter should properly apply from this to here. Okay, now what happens, we have fixed that cascading filter. Now we need to fix this report. Go to here. Now what you can do, add another filter, that is product subcategory name. Also here what you need to do, instead of the parameters, the category, here in this case sub product category value. So what we will do, the first filter will filter the category name, and the second filter will filter the subcategory name from this parameter, and this will be, first filter will be when the first parameter. So that will be filtering the entire data set. So like this you can able to filter your reports. Now once you run this report, you have to choose bikes, then choose mountain bikes, then click on view report. So this will give you the filtered report right now. Okay, this is how you can able to view your reports based on your different dependent combo. This is the way you can implement the, so this is how you can implement the cascading filter, and once you choose that one, the respective report will be filtered. I hope you understand how you can implement this cascading filters, and you can I hope you understand how you can implement the cascading filters. To quickly summarize, you need to add two parameters individually, and these parameters you need to choose the data set. Once you choose first parameter, this will should filter this particular parameter, but where this data comes, it is coming from subproduct. So you apply the filters, okay, for this, the category name. So in this data set you need to have the subcategory, also the category, that is first parameter value as well, then only you can filter it. So this will filter. Then in the main report, whatever the report you want to filter, here you can apply both the filters, like over here the category and subcategory. There are different ways to do it. This is one of the simplest way I explained to you. I hope you understand how to apply a cascading filter. In turn, you can apply those filters in your reports. In this session, we are going to see about what are report items and headers and footers in Power BI paginated reports or Power BI report builder. Without further delay, let's jump into our today's topic. So we have this simple report now. So let me launch and show it for you. So now we have a simple table that we have brought list of products, and we are seeing the size and what is the list price and new price, that is we have derived, right? So basically I will start with headers and footers. What are those and what kind of things you can do with that? Headers and footers, as name indicates, most of them also working with the Word document. It is like for each page it is going to generate this report. You will have a headers and footers. So now we have only the footer, and you can see at each page, at the end of the page you will find the date and time over at the end. You see 2835, that is the page number 3. Even at the 4 you can see the footer. So this is what the footer is, and you have a limited scope here. I mean to say, like limited properties. You can add a borders, or you can add a text or note. This is highly confidential report, some other kind of things you can add. You can see from here you can add it like confidential report, right? Something note you can add. You can use the text box properties. Once you click on text box, the properties related to text box will appear, and this is the footer area, and the properties related to footer area will appear. So this is how you can control it. Now in order to insert the header, go here and add header, and here again you can add image or text boxes. One of the item I want to add is like the report item, because why I am taken this topic together is because both are closely related. Adding a header doesn't make any sense without having any plain text or some designing over here. That is especially a report item. Basically this report item will work independent of your data source or data sets. That is what I want to convey. Only the body, when you add some data regions or data visualizations, something starts with data which requires data source and data sets, I mean data from the data sets to display your results. That is what one of the concept you need to remember. Now I added header here. Let us try to add image, right? Static image like a logo. It is embedded. You can either use external as a URL or from the database. I'm going to use embed. So once you import it, it will be embedded here. You can see here, this is analyticswithnags logo. Let me increase the size slightly. This is fine. Okay, and we can adjust the size, okay, right? So always we can adjust it, and I will add some text like product, latest product list. So this is my header, and click on the text box to align the center alignment, and also you can make it as bold. You want to add some color, you can do that. Always it's fine. So let me add some of the color, like I like the blue one. Let's go. So one thing you can notice here is like some of the properties here. The print on first page is false, right? So I set previously while testing, that's why it is defaulted here. Basically in the first page or last page, whether you want header, similarly footer, this is the optional one. In the first page you can skip this header. Some reports doesn't require header at the first page. There might be some requirement, right? So that is why they're given this option. So once you do that, you can see here list of products. When you go to next page, you can see 2 and 3 and 4, something like this. And now some of the people ask me I want the header for this table each page. That will be my next video. I will try to explain what are the different properties available. In that I will try to explain it. This is focusing on these two tabs, basically like report items and headers and footers. So we will take that later. So I've explained the headers and footers, which has very limited properties. You can add background, other properties as well. And also the text box and images, this can be added anywhere, even in the header or footer, even over here. Like I can add text at the before starting of this table. Like over here I will add some the line, and I can set the properties, and I can also add some text box like as on report, something like that, right? So this will be repeated only once on the body page before that particular before that table. Now when you see it here as on report, then when you go to the next page it will not appear, right? So this is how you can add the different report items like text or image or line. One last thing to highlight about this report item is the rectangle. Basically rectangle is the grouping of item. Say for example, these two items, this is one is text, another is line, right? So these can be combined and put it in a single rectangle. So in what scenarios you will use it? Like basically you want to set some properties of these two items. One is like text box and another line. You want to hide it in some scenarios, or you want to hide together all the items present within this box. So in such cases you can merge or combine whatever report items together in this rectangle. Then you can assign some properties values to this rectangle. so that it will hide entire thing, right? It is embedding, I mean to say, like it's grouping different report items into this rectangle. Even you can place a table inside that rectangle, that is absolutely fine. Basically it's a grouping of items. That is what this rectangle is all about. I hope you understand the report item elements and the header and footer as part of Power BI paginated reports or Power BI report builder. In this session I'm going to discuss about various report item properties and one of the trick on how to sort a table data in Power BI paginated reports or report builder. When you started working on report builder, and you need to understand certain properties so that you can design your reports very easily and effectively. That's what we are going to see as part of this video. So what things you can expect, like basic properties, font color, size, background, alignment, and hide or unhide, then sorting of table, then repeat headers of a table. So those things I'm going to cover. There are a lot of other properties, you can explore it, but once I showcased all these properties, you will understand how you can explore other properties as well. That is the main agenda of this video. This channel contains a free content with $1,000 or 75,000 INR. Please utilize this contents. You can see the topics, whatever I have covered as part of this channel. With this note, let's begin our today's topic. So we are in this report. So first, as in the beginning I have said, each item has its own properties. This is the body. When you click on it, you can see the body here. When you click on here, this is the page header, and click on here page footer. And when you click on here, you see individual items. This is the text box properties. And when you click on entire thing at the top right corner, it will be a tablix. So each and every item has its own properties. So what are the common properties of a text box? We already seen in our previous video. For a header and footer, we have a limited properties, whether you can add a border, fill, and whether you can print on first page or last page. That's it. When it comes to a text box or something with text, you have a lot of other properties, like you can use the background color. For this, I hope little gray, if I add, that will be much better. And for the font, you can also have some dark colors here so that it will look little neat. Then what is the I mean to say, like can grow or can shrink. Those properties are something, if it is dynamic, then this will be very useful, whether it can grow or not shrink. And also there is something like a tooltip. When someone mouse over something needs to be highlighted, you can add those things over here, and this tooltip is basically you can add some expressions. So these are some of the basic properties when it comes to text box. Whatever text box you see here, same applicables to individual box in a table as well. And this is like we have added a rectangle. If you have seen my previous video, basically what it is like we added a rectangle and we have included two items. One is text box, another is line. These two items we added inside this rectangle. Now let us try to view this report. I'm going to show one of the property here, as on date over here. Based on certain condition, you have added some values, assuming you have created this report based on some customer or products, and if particular customer chooses, this item should not be shown, right? So like that you have to write some logics. There are a lot of items, 5 to 6 items you need to hide. That is the condition. So instead of setting those properties one by one, right, if you choose one particular customer, that customer should not show these 5 items. Instead of assigning properties of hide based on this customer for each and individual item, you group all the individual items into here. In this case, we have added text box and line into this rectangle. Okay, we added a rectangle here, then added two text box and line inside here. Now I'm going to say like hide. This property I'm setting at the rectangle box level. Okay, Once I said that, you can see here the entire thing is display is gone. So this is very simple way. When you group certain items, when you set some properties over here, that will be applied to underneath or when whatever grouped inside, right? So this is the main purpose, one of the property I want to highlight. So these are the things you can explore it based on business scenarios. The next thing is all about having the sorting properties. Like you can have a sorting based on different way. Like once you see here, now this is basically sorted by alphabetical order. How it is done earlier, it is not done like that. In order to do alphabetical order, you can click on it at the column level, column header, okay, based on this. Okay, when you click on it, you can see TableX properties. Then you can see sorting, okay, the word sorting. This is based on sorting. I will say Z to A. This is fixed. You cannot have anything, whatever, whether descending or ascending, you need to fix it. So people don't have any ability to change this property at all. Okay, now it is fixed. Now they do not have a ability to change whether ascending or descending. So when you click at the top right and you see this sorting, then this is fixed way. Okay, there is no way people can avoid it, but you should give a ability for the user in order to choose what order they need to sort. Okay, for that, click on this text box, right click, then text box properties, interactive sorting. You can see the word interactive sorting. Then enable interactive sorting on this text box. Then click on English product name. Okay, sort by English product name. When you click on OK, then when you click on execute, oh sorry, I did a mistake. You should not click on this text box, you should click on here. This is obvious because when you are trying for something it will always a problem. Okay, so click on this header. Now click on this text box properties, interactive sorting, enable sorting, then click on based on product name. Okay, when you click on it here, then click on run. So you can see here now you have the ability to switch. When you click on this, it will be like alphabetical order. When you click on this, it will be like descending order, right? So that is how it will be assigned. Dynamic sorting based on the interactive sorting. We can say the name interactive sorting. So this is how you can have some other properties over here instead of basic properties. These are some of the tricky properties where you are clicking and assigning. That's what I said, each and everything has its own property. You need to be very careful with that. One last thing I want to show here is like someone asked me like how I need to repeat this header. Now I'm at the page 1. When I go to the next page, this header is not repeated, right? I mean that this table header, the report header is repeated, but the table header, the whatever I see here, it is not repeated. How I can make it? So these are some of the tricks. It is typically, unless you know how you can do, you cannot do it. So click on this one, I mean to the entire TableX, then go to here, right? Advanced mode. Okay, when you click on advanced mode, then you can see what is happening here. You will have a static and static column groups. Once it appeared, click on the row groups static. Then here you have a property. Okay, as I said, each and everything has its own property. Repeat on new page. That is the static. This static value should repeat on new page. By default it will be false. You need to set it to true. Once you set it, then you can click on run. Now you can see on the next page you will see the headers are started appearing for your table as well. So the report designing is a little tricky. It is not straightforward. However, you develop in typical Power BI desktop. So some of the properties, until you practice or you do some research, you will not get how it can be done. In this session, we are going to see how to deploy your paginated reports built using Report Builder in Power BI services. If you are not so familiar with what I meant by it, let's try to understand it in a diagram way. So this is the architecture of Power BI, where till now you might have worked on Power BI desktop, that is used to create your BI dashboards, that is for the consolidated data, and you can publish in services. Whatever we are seeing as part of this playlist, we are creating the Power BI Report Builder paginated reports using Power BI Report Builder. And what we are going to do, we are going to publish into Power BI services. That is what we are going to see. One quick note I want to make here is like, till now whatever you have seen in this playlist, I have a SQL source here, right? So from this SQL source I have read this Power BI report, and we are only seen till this time only within this Power BI Report Builder. Now once I publish it, I need some gateways. This gateway should connect to my SQL over here. That is, the gateway is over here. This gateway should connect to my SQL, right? This is the way it should work. There are some issues while I configure this gateway, so that is what I need a separate approach. What I did right now, I'm trying to explain it right. So basically now I created one report in Power BI desktop. This report I have deployed in Power BI service. I use the dataset. Once you deploy the reports in the services using Power BI desktop, you have a report and dataset separately. This dataset I've used here to create a Power BI report builder. Then I'm going to publish it, right? So this is what I'm going to do it right now, basically in order to understand. Once I fix that data gateway issues related to SQL and other things, I will try to explain it in a separate video. For now, you should understand how you can publish it. That is what quick note. To make you clear, those who are following my channel or this playlist, they should not confuse why I have changed this route. This is because one of the issue I'm facing right now. This may not be the case in your case. Try to deploy directly from SQL. Once you build from SQL, you try to deploy. Okay, that is different story. So we are going to follow this approach, right? Let's begin. So what are the prerequisites? You should have Power BI Pro or Premium per user license. That is the one of the prerequisite to deploy into Power BI services. And you can deploy it in my workspace or other workspaces. Ensure that your workspace is in a premium capacity. So once you have a premium capacity in that workspace, you can able to deploy your reports. Then on-premise data gateway. So you should have some gateways to connect to your Power BI data as well. If your data is in on-premise, if it's in Azure or some other data source, the story is different. So these are some of the prerequisites. Ensure you have this one of them, then we will go for it. Now let's do whatever we explained so far. So now you can see this is the report. Earlier I have some data source, that is data source from SQL. Now this is the data source which is reading from the Power BI services. You can see this data source is reading from the Power BI services. I have this particular report. Let me launch and show it to you what it is having right now. And you can see this is the premium per user workspace, that is premium capacity. And you can see from this diagram, so this is the end-to-end report that those who are following my channel, they have a tower. We have that end-to-end reports. So this is one of the report which contains report as well as dataset. What I'm trying to do here, I connect to this dataset in the Power BI paginated reports, right? End-to-end. Then I created one dataset, right? So I mapped it here. So once you run this one, it will show me the data that is fetched from the Power BI dataset. So this report I'm going to publish it in the Power BI report server. Now you can see once you do the publish, Now here is the catch. As I said, this workspace should be a premium capacity workspace. So click on this. I already deployed it. So once you click on publish, it will be published in that particular website, workspace. If you are deploying in non-premium capacity workspace, it will not allow. So once you click on it, open, that is, you can see now the report, whatever you developed till now, is deploying it in the Power BI services. You can see same report, whatever we have seen in the report builder, that will start appearing in your Power BI services as well. So this is a dedicated report only meant for Power BI report, paginated reports. So how you can embed Power BI paginated reports in Power BI, that will be a separate video. I will explain it later. Now you can see from here the report data set, and you can see the difference between the reports. This is the Power BI report, this is the Power BI data set, whereas the paginated reports contains the report. The icon is slightly different from the Power BI reports. Both lies in the same workspace. I hope you understand how you can deploy it. It is just a simple one-step process. Like once you develop your report, just publish it in the Power BI premium capacity workspace. In this session, we're going to see about sub-reports in Power BI paginated reports or Power BI report builder. What it mean by sub-reports? You have one report, that is main report, and you have another report, the second report. You want to see the contents of the second report in your first report itself, right? So that second report will be embedded in your main report. That is what your sub-report concept is. So a lot of people, while developing Power BI desktop reports, they ask same kind of behavior like this. When they choose some parameter, that will pop up a new report or will filter another report. So that is not possible in Power BI desktop reports, whereas in Power BI paginated reports, we can achieve the same results using sub reports. If you are still not convinced what I'm saying, let us jump into demo. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for notification. So I have my two reports here. One is main report and another report is called sub reports. So the main report, which will show me the product wise sales amount. Let it load. Meanwhile, we will go and launch our sub report. The sub report will show me the order type on shop or online order. Just it displays it. Even it can be anything that can be a big, and there are different scenarios you can go for a sub report. Let me cover it up later, but I want to show you what are these two reports. It's our main report output as came. So now you can see this main report contains a list of product and my sales amount. So I want the second report, okay, the sub report, to be present under this particular report, right, the main report. Now to do that, we need to go and insert our sub report item over here, then configure the sub report here. That is as simple as that. Before doing that, I need to deploy this main report and sub report in the Power BI services. Let us do that first. Let's try to publish. As you may aware, like we need to have the premium capacity workspace. I'm deploying it here. Main report, publish. That's done. And let us go to sub report, and we will do it again as sub report. So go back here, I will say sub report AWN demo. Publish once again. That's it. We are done with deploying of these two reports. Now go to your main report and let's do sub report. drag and drop. Once you're done, right click on the sub report, then click on properties. Here you have option to choose the sub report from the services, so ensure you deploy it in the services. Basically in SSRS you can navigate to the RDL file or report in the report server, but in case of Power BI report builder or paginated reports, you can get it from the Power BI services. So I'm just navigating that sub report from here. Once you click on it, click on open. That's it. And if you have any parameters with the sub report, you can configure it. Right now I do not have any parameter. Let us leave it, and the second part of the video I will add some parameters, then configure it. Let's go by right now here with this. Now this is done. Now what happens once you launch? So this will populate, this main report will populate its data from here, and this sub report will also connect the data from its own data set that is configured in your sub report, right? So let us try to launch this main report and see what was the result. Now you can see from this output, let it launch, so it takes a little while. So as soon as your main report is populated, underneath you can have your sub report, right? So what is the point of having a sub report? You might have thought like having the simple logic over here, right? The same simple report over in the same place. Instead of sub report, I can add that same table. Basically you can do that. It is like more or less configuring your report. There are different purpose. You will go for sub report. Basically once you create your main report, the sub report, if it is next to that report, then, and whatever I designed is very simple, right? For simple table you will not go for sub report. Assume there is very complex logics involved and you want to make neat design here, right? There should not be any for management purpose. The main report will be here, and this sub report can be used for other purposes as well. Not only this report, the sub report used for this report. This is a common report. This is used in report 1 and many other reports. In those cases you will create a common report that will be utilized in many other reports. This is purpose number 1. And there are some cases like when you choose some parameter in this report, that should be passed to your, first you need to pass it to the sub report, then only this report should be visible, kind of user security, all those purposes. Then you need to go for your sub report. What do you mean by that? Basically like assuming for each product, let us assume a scenario for each product how much quantity sold, okay, that I want to see it as part of the table here. In order to do that, basically I can configure this sub report adding as part of this table itself. Okay, this is one way. Or you can add a parameter to your main report. That parameter can be passed to your sub report as well. There are different scenarios you can use it. Let me walk you through one of this scenario where I will add some parameterized values in my sub report, and that parameter value will be passed from my main report. Let us do that. First, this report doesn't have any parameter. In order to add a parameter here, now when you click on it, the report launches immediately. I need to add a parameter. For that I need a data set. So let us try to build a data set. So this is actually the Power BI data set. So whatever you query, it will be like a DAX query you need to write. If you are aware of writing the query, you can write the query here to fetch the distinct of product name as a parameter. For your purpose to understanding, I'm just using the query designer like over here, which will be very easy for you to get the DAX query if you are not able to write. So it's very simple, just drag and drop and then press OK, then your output is done. I used only the sales table, so I'm not going for any dimension right now. So just drag and drop product name, which will, if you execute the query, which will fetch me the list of distinct product names. So If you want to see the query, just press OK. Then it will generate our DAX query for us, because Power BI dataset is internally a tabular model. So you see, evaluate summarize column. It's just a summarize columns function. Okay. So this dataset is nothing but my product list. Let me name it as product list. Okay. This is to get my distinct values of for my parameters. So add parameters. So if you are viewing this for the very first time, you may not aware why I am doing this, because adding parameters, I have a separate video, just go and watch it. So available values. So go to dataset, product list, value, product name, label name. Excuse me. So once you are done, your parameter is ready. Once you run this, now you have ability to choose which particular product. Okay, report parameter name. So based on the parameter, now you can see this will change. Okay, I'm sorry, this is not changing, because I need, once you add that parameter, you need to filter your data set here. So come over here, add filters, then add product name, then go back here. So these things I have explained in detail how you need to configure. Just watch it out, my how to add parameter video. Now once you choose any of the product in your sub reports, right, you see the values are changing based on the values you choose. Okay, this is fine. Now going back to my main report, now what I need to do here, I need to configure that parameters. First of all, before doing this, first publish this report. That is your sub report. The first case, whatever I shown you, it's very simple, without any parameter, nothing, just two reports. You will have main and sub reports. You are doing it on your, I mean, just importing or embedding the sub report in the main report. Now it is little tricky, like I've added some parameterized report in the sub report, and the value for this parameter which will come from my main report. Now the sub report is ready, I published. Now go to sub report properties, check it out, the parameters. Let us try to reconfigure from the beginning, because once we published, so insert sub report, then configure, browse, so sub report demo, click on open. There you go. Go to parameters, use these parameters to run the sub report. Okay, so you need to add that parameter. So now you see that whatever you deployed in your sub report, this is the name we deployed, report parameter 1. What value you need? You need the value to be passed as first of fields name, that is this from here. Okay, now you see what we have configured, how we have configured. This report is able to run, okay, with first of product name. We are passing one parameter, that is first of product name, because we are not passing anything from this table. Just we will try to launch and you will understand what I'm trying to say. Once you pass it, the main report will run. After that, the second report will be fetched only for the first product, that is chain, for this chain or whatever the first value. Okay, that is passed over here. But I want, this is one of the scenario you will pass it. Okay, either this main report also should contain parameter that you will choose, then this main report also filter for that parameter, sub report also filter for that parameter, that you can do it. Now this is passed as first of, you can see from here, parameters first of, you can see from this expression, first of product name. So that is why it is passed as first value. Instead, I can have that sub report executed for each row. So you can add column here, click on this, add column, insert column outside the group, right? Okay, here I just drag and drop this sub report. Here when you drag and drop, what happens? You see the magic here. For each row, the respective product name is passed, so the table also will be filtered. That sub report also will be filtered. These are the different scenarios you will use your sub reports. Let us wait for the output, how it behaves. Now you can see chain is 6 and I think for everything it is passed as first value. Okay, instead you can pass this value here, sub report properties, parameters, product name. So you see now the entire thing is changed. When you put inside the table the parameter, instead of first of, you get the product name. Okay, when you put outside, it will be either first of or maximum value, something like that. So when you run this report, this time for each row, for each product, the sub report is executed, the output is generated within that column itself. So this is another example or different scenarios you will go for your sub reports. Let's wait for the output. There you go. So now you can see this table for chain, it is 3,1 and jeans denim 6,6 and there is no offline shop. So this is how the data changes dynamically. The report is filtered. So I hope you understand the concept behind the sub report, and there are different ways you can use the sub report to make your report dynamically work. In this session, we are going to see about how to use your paginated reports inside your Power BI desktop. What do you mean by that? You have created a Power BI paginated reports and you have deployed in your Power BI services. Either you can use these reports as a separate paginated reports if you want, and there may be some cases, some reports need to be used along with your Power BI reports. How to use that? Let us try to walk you through in this video. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for notification. Let's begin. Let's try to open Power BI desktop, and if you are following my channel, we have a separate playlist for how you can create your Power BI paginated reports. You can go and use that one. So now we have this report. Let's try to get our data. Let me get the data from Power BI datasets itself. You can use any of their Excel or whatever may be the case. I already deployed this using I mean to say, like, what do you call, from this data set. So I will go for it. So it can be any of the data set, right? So now what I need, I can build any report here. You might aware how you can create using Power BI reports. You can create, right, using different fields over here. But this video focusing mainly on how you can create the paginated reports, right? So let us try to create simple report, and I will try to explain why I'm creating all this stuffs, right? So this is my report using Power BI desktop. There is quantity and sales amount. I want something with some filter. Let us go for product name here. This product name wise I need some quantity. Okay, let us try to have it as a chart over here and slightly increase the sizes so that people can view it properly. And this is the label. Let me increase it. This is again the label. There you go. Okay, It is somewhat better now. Now where I can add the paginated reports, so it is under visualization. So what we can do is, like, before adding, let me add a background. So this is the paginated report visualization. So in order to add a paginated report along with your Power BI desktop reports, you need to add it as a visual, another visual in your Power BI desktop. So once you have this paginated reports, you need to get it from your paginated report services, meaning like Power BI services. So for Power BI services, you need to have it in a premium per user capacity, I mean premium workspace, right? And either you should have a pro or premium per user licensing, or premium per capacity, whatever. So once you do that, right, so these are the different paginated reports available in the workspace that this user can have access to. First, I do not have any parameters from this report, just go by first paginated reports. Okay, then if you have parameters, you can click on set parameters, but this particular report doesn't have any parameters, so it will not prompt you anything over here. Okay, so there is no parameters for this report. Click see report to proceed. That's it. So basically, like what we are doing, so this is Power BI desktop report, and inside that you can able to view your paginated reports, and there is no interactivity between these two reports because this is not acting or reading any of the parameters, right? That is what this is acting as a static report. Okay, out of different reports that we have deployed, let me walk you through over here in the paginated reports workspace. Here you can see this icon indicates a paginated reports. This doesn't have any parameters, just a report. So you are seeing your Power BI desktop report along with your paginated reports in the same page. Okay, in these cases you can go for it. In another scenario, I want to showcase another scenario where this is another paginated reports, where when I click on it, it will prompt me for the parameter, that is I need to choose sub parameter here that will filter, right? If you see Jeans Lewis, and when you click on view report, this will give me some sub report. This is I have done in my previous video. It's very simple report. Just it will show me in Jeans Lewis I have 6 quantity and online quantity is 6. You can choose some other product name here, then it will give me what are the online or order shop. So this report you have generated. Now what is the scenario is like, when you click on the product name from the Power BI desktop report, that will be passed to your paginated reports deployed in this server. Instead of choosing it, this value should be passed from the Power BI report values, right? How you can do that, right? This is the next scenario I'm going to show. So this report doesn't have any parameters, so there is no interactivity. Now you can go and edit it, like you can choose or change any of the reports now. So you are choosing this sub report. Now you go to set reports. So now what you need to do, you need to choose from a column, right? What columns are passed to this parameter. So in my case, this particular column has to be passed. Once you choose, unless you choose any field, this will be grayed out. You need to choose a field here, so this will start appearing. So product name, whatever you choose, that will start appearing. Then click on see report. Now no products are selected. Once you click on, okay, once you click on, that will be taken as first of product name, obviously. Once you click on any one of the product name, this value that is from the Power BI desktop is passed to your sub report. You see, you need to apply changes each time because that report acting differently. As soon as you click on it, it will not immediately reflect here. You see these values are reflecting immediately 126075, but it is requesting you apply changes or not. Okay, so once you click on it, you can see this report changes dynamically. The first case, whatever we see is like that is static report without any parameters, you can do it. But when you want to pass some of the filters that can be applied to your paginated reports, that is also possible here. I hope you understand the concept between how you can use the paginated reports as part of the Power BI desktop reports. In this session, we are going to see about sharing and export options in Power BI paginated reports in the Power BI services. We have created the reports and deployed the report in the Power BI services. Once it is deployed and it is time for us to share to the report users or those who want to have the real consumption of this report, how we can do it, what are the different options available for us. Let us try to check it out in this video. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for notification. So basically, sharing, if the user have access to the paginated report workspace, I mean to say premium per user workspace, then he will have access to the reports. Obviously that is there, but it is not actually recommended. And using share option to the selected users. Once you deploy the report, I will just navigate to you after the slide. So you have a share option, so you can share to the specific users, right? So they can able to view the report in the Power BI services. If the user is not interested in seeing the reports in the app.powerbi space, he can able to view the report using the subscriptions. So subscription is the very suitable option for the users, those who doesn't want this report to be logged in each day and do it, so they can get it as part of the email. And another option for the wide users, you can create an app and you can push these reports in that app. So these are the different options available. I'm not going to talk about app in today's video because already I discussed these things in the Power BI services, so you can go and watch it. And finally, once we have done with the sharing, what are the different options available, we will see about export. And one of the major important difference in export between Power BI paginated reports and Power BI reports, I want to explain it as well. Let's move on to Power BI services. So now we have seen these are the reports, like this is Power BI report, but this is the paginated reports. Now what are the different options available for us to share? You click on this report and first you can see what are the different things available. This is parameter is required. Let us filter that first, and you can have all the other options available over here. So basically what I'm trying to say, if you click on this share, you can start typing the name of your persons in your organization. You can click on it and you can able to share this report. This is what I meant, share option to the. So once you log in as that user, he will have like under his login, this report started appearing shared with me, so he can launch and check the reports. This is one simple way of sharing the reports. So another way is like subscription, as I mentioned. So subscribe is one of the option where you can add the report, right? So you can send it as the PDF format with parameters, right? With some parameters, or for this user you can create one subscription with defaulting to this parameter. For another user it can be some other parameters, right? So like that you can configure, and you can schedule some dates like either daily, weekly, monthly, hourly, whatever may be your report business logics. Based on that you can start typing your subject and include some optional message. You can send it as a PDF as an attachment to the concerned users. This is another way of doing it. So these are the two ways you can share your reports to the wide audience. As I mentioned, app is not I'm not want to explain it right now, because so that I have taken it as part of Power BI services. Just check it out. The same logics you can apply it for your Power BI paginated report itself. So this is what about sharing. And we have an important concept over here, like a export. So let me walk you through what I'm trying to say here. When we use export option, whatever formats or backgrounds, everything applied here, when you export it in Excel, right, all these formats applied in the your Excel itself, right? So you see the headers are colored, and you can find when you open this Excel, you can see the difference in the paginated reports. The same formatting applies in your Excel as well, right? Sometimes we want to generate the once you generated the report, you want to analyze or you want to present it, you have to do some other calculations. In that time, you want the same layout to be appear in the Excel. So export will export along with your formatting options as well. This is not the case in case of your Power BI reports. When you go to Power BI reports, this is the Power BI report. You can export it to Excel, analyze in Excel, but not the entire format or everything will appear. You can have it only as a data, right? You can export it only as a data. If you see export data, this will come as only the data will start exporting to you. It is not the format whatever apply in your reports. So this is the major difference, one of the difference you need to understand the paginated reports export as well as the Power BI reports. So the Power BI reports, always it is only the screenshot, right? Whatever you export or something, it is just an image of this will be exported. When you export that data, it is underlying data will be getting exported in a table format. So this is what you can get it in the Power BI reports, whereas your paginated reports, when you do the export from Excel, the format also will get exported. This is the one thing I want to highlight. We have reached the end of this playlist, that is Power BI paginated reports, where the last topic I'm going to cover is embedding your paginated reports. We have seen paginated reports deployment into services and how you can share it. And some cases we want the paginated reports or any reports, we want to embed that report in our websites or our internal portals. How we can do that? That is what we are going to see as part of this video. Let's try to check it out. What are the options? You will get a URL or iframe to embed your Power BI paginated reports. These options same like Power BI reports. In addition to that, in paginated reports, you will get a link. Let us try to talk about all these things as part of the demo. So I'm in Power BI service and let me go through the report. So here I need to provide a parameter. So let us provide the parameter name. Once I choose that, I will get a simple report over here. So where is the embedding option? It will be under file menu, where you have an option called embed. So in the embed you got two things. One is like this URL, that is http API app.powerbi.com, that is RDL embed, right? So this is one of the URL you will get to use it as part of your embed procedure. So, and another option is iframe. This is most commonly used nowadays, right? You click the iframe and where you will use this code, single piece of code, to embed in your HTML or whatever website language you are building. You can embed those. So these are the two options. And another option is like generate link. What is this generate link? Basically, this generate link is used when you have dynamically wants to configure some of your what you call reports, right? To filter based on the input parameter, you need to pass some from your external application based on different department. Assuming this report is filtered for the department, you need to pass that department, and this report should internally filter and show it to them, right? Such a things you can do it using this particular URL, right? So what I'm trying to convey is, like, now you see the category is accessories. Instead of this, let me copy this code and put it under over here. Okay, once I press that, it will again show me accessories data by default. It will not prompt me to choose the parameter as it did before. Now instead of that, I will go and choose the category as formal. Okay, we know the formal exists in our data. Let us try to view it, right? Sorry, I need to press enter, formal, and press enter. Once you press that, the data you can see from here, it is filtered for formal, and you can see the results here. So instead of choosing the data over here, and directly you can customize this URL based on your requirement. I hope you enjoyed the entire playlist related to paginated reports. You understand how to create it, how you can share, and also you can embed these reports in your websites. This is the end of this playlist, and if there are any new videos comes up in my mind, I'll definitely upload as part of this playlist. Keep watching this channel for more updates. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and comment below for queries. Do remember that data is your asset.